Good afternoon, and welcome once again to my daily Facebook Live broadcast. My name is Barry Selby. I am a passionate champion for the divine feminine and inside of this. I'll tell you what I do. I'm a relationship attraction expert, best-selling author and speaker, and helping strong, successful women find balance in love, life, and business. And today's topic is really a self-expose, in a way. The intention is to share a bit about why I do what I do and why I love doing what I do. Because if you're watching this broadcast, and this is number 239 in the series, and I'll recap that in a second, you probably figured out I do enjoy this. I'm not doing it for just my health, and I'm not doing it just to pass the time. Both these broadcasts and the work I do, it's from my heart. So I'll get to that in a second. So let me just frame this first. This is number 239 in an ongoing series of talks called Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart. These are daily talks that keep coming, so I'm grateful for that. Today's was one of the ones I was trying to avoid, to be totally transparent. I was thinking of what topic would come up today to talk about. And truthfully, this one did, and I was like, no, not that. No, I'll talk about something else. But then I decided to, I'll stretch it a little bit. I'll post a meme on Facebook, and I posted on Facebook about it. So I used to coach my friends as service. Now I get paid for it, and I commit even more, or I give even more. I think is the way I said it. It was earlier. I didn't want to put the same thing on the title here, but I wanted to really speak about this because it just felt like it's time, I guess. And I was avoiding it, which means it's a good time to talk about it. So, hi, nice to meet you. My name is Barry Selby. As I said before, I'm a relationship attraction expert. So why do I do that? And why do I love doing it? I think the fundamental truth is I do this because, boy, how do I put this in simple terms? I'm going to say this simply. I love women. And I mean it from the sense that I love women as incredible beings of light, of massively powerful transformational agents, even if they don't know it all the time. I love women because of what they bring to the world in so much. Their softness, their power, their caring, their compassion. I realize I'm thinking about my mother as I say this, so that's probably what triggers this for me. Okay. Sorry, I just felt my mother there for a second. That wasn't expected. And that's probably one of the reasons I started doing this. I mean, I started in high school as a strong shoulder for my friends, my girlfriends to cry on. My friends were female. And it was something that really was always with me. It didn't help my own relationships, but it certainly helped my friends in their relationships, and when they were single and when they were heartbroken. And I think one of the biggest things, oh my God. Oh boy, this is a surprise. I didn't expect this at all. Okay. I think I found a root. I think I've actually found one of the reasons why I do what I do. This is interesting, completely out of the blue. When I see a woman who's wounded emotionally, it really touches me deeply. And I have always felt like I wanted to do something to help, to fix, to transform, whatever that was. Not to take over, but to help her heal. And I just had this, I think that's it. I mean, I'm just seeing this like arrows pointing at this incident with my mother. Must have been early teens, I think now, but I'm just going to share it because it's on my mind right now. My dad did something at work that got him basically canned. Well, not fired, but demoted and transferred and stuff like that. And my mother was heartbroken by it. And it hurt me big time. In terms of, I took it on. I was the oldest son. I couldn't say I was going to fix it or anything like that, but I felt helpless that I couldn't help my mother feel okay. This is like, my God, this is, okay. I didn't know this before. This just hit me as like, oh, that's where it comes from. Because I was asking questions before about, also because I did it as a teenager, I helped my friends. deep reverence for my mother, and I think this is part of the trigger. Seeing my mother hurt by what my dad did really upset me. Now, he didn't cheat on her, just to be clear, it's nothing like that. But he did something foolish at work that got him in trouble. And because he was the sole breadwinner, my mother was extremely upset by it. Not angry upset, but almost sad about it, because it was a risk to the family's stability financially, and also this trust that was going on. Thank you, Corey. Yeah, so this is apparently, now I know more clearly, this is why I do what I do. But I will speak to what I intended to speak about as well. But thank you for witnessing this. I mean, I'm not going to change it, edit it. This is what came up. But this is why I love what I do, is because I feel so deeply for women that want to heal. Let me qualify this, because there are women out there who like being, or are unwilling to get support, so I can't help them. But generally speaking, I love helping women who want to heal, to grow, to be stronger, to be wholehearted, to, yes, attract the love they want, but also to be whole in the world. So that's why I'm not so much focused on relationship stuff all the time, as I'm about helping you, my audience, become more whole. The why behind this as well, another piece of the why, which I have talked about before, but I want to put it in this context. Okay, I'm still like getting goosebumps from this realization, so I'll attempt to get through this part easily. In my more recent dating experiences, which was up until about 2006, from like 2000-ish, give or take, up until 2006, that period of time, the women I dated, relationships I was in, had a certain theme to them. And the theme was that I was attracted to very strong, which I still am, but not the same way, very strong, successful women who really were running. They were in charge. They were bright lights shining brightly, but I didn't know at the time there was a piece that was that was out of alignment. But I'll tell you that in a second. So I was very attracted to them, and they were very forthright, very dynamic, and it was really fun. The last one, the one that ended in 2006, actually asked me out initially, which is extremely bold and kind of cool and at the same time. But she ran the whole thing. She was the greatest example of what was not working in my past relationships, by the way. After that breakup, and having been through this journey for a long time in personal growth, doing seminars, training since 84, so a long time. So that was that point, 1984 to 2006, that was 22 years. So I wasn't new at this stuff, it seems, but I still messed up my love life. So, early 2007, I was so gratefully led to some teachings that I mean, the serendipity of it was beautiful. You know, something behind the scenes was going, let's do this and this to make it happen. If you've had that experience, it's really cool. And I knew at the time it was happening, which is even more fun. Usually I have no clue till afterwards going, oh, that's why that happened. But in this case, I was watching it happen as it did, and I knew I had to follow through. It's like I saw the steps and knew I had to take them to get where I was going. Boy. That was a fun experience too. Anyway, it led me to these trainings out of a company out of Vancouver called Warrior Sage. And that second training, the first training that was in the sexual polarity conversation, called Sex, Passion, and Enlightenment, was a game changer for me. It changed my life, changed my understanding, changed my perspective. I can tell you now, if you go to warriorsage.com, I think they started that program. I'd highly recommend it. They're in Vancouver, by the way. Anyway, during that process, I started understanding the whole thing I've been doing wrong for the last, at that point, 7-8 years at least in my relationships, where I was embodying a passive beta male presence, a nice guy that loved the women but didn't want to dare step on their toes, so I would be yes to whatever they wanted. And his women I was attracting were the inverse. They were the strong, dynamic, masculine energy at that time without realizing it. Because in business, this is why I have a whole thing about women in business. Didn't know how to turn it off, so when we got to get a relationship, we would be a good polarity but reversed. And I didn't know how to change it. These trainings showed me, one, that I was out of alignment, I was out of my own natural state, but secondly, how to change it. The third piece of that was what to do about it. And that was the work that I actually started with David Data afterwards that really changed my life. And it didn't change my life as much as it took me further down the path I was already starting on with Warrior Sage. one of the things he talks about in his work, and it's in one of his books, it's actually chapter 7 of The Way of the Superior Man. I quote that book in my book. Is a man's purpose must come before his relationship. And that was an eye-opener for me, because at that time, at that point in time, it was 2008, I had at least 6, if not 7 careers. Yes, careers, not jobs, careers. I've had a whole range of things over my adult life. And I knew at that point, nothing I'd done to this point was really my purpose. That was crystal clear. And so for me, that started me on this, and I didn't do it necessarily the healthiest way. Let me be clear and transparent about that. I jumped off the cliff of uncertainty going, I trust my wings will be built on the way down, sort of thing. I'm still building the wings, by the way. This is now almost 8 years later. Almost 10 years later, excuse me. It's 9.5, yeah. Because I've been working on my purpose. And what came through me, and this what became very clear, one is I always loved to be coaching, counseling, studying, that sort of thing. So it's what I've done in my offline work. Having a background in spiritual psychology, been trained as a spiritual counselor, having, at that point, 8 years as a professional counselor, spiritual counselor. So I was trained in this stuff. But it was what I innately wanted to do. But the way that I was being taught it and what I was being told to do didn't fit, didn't line up. So hold that thought for a second. Let's go back to my youth and this new insight. I knew that my passion, my love was serving women, owning their feminine gifts, being in their wholehearted expression of themselves, and being healthy in their hearts. That wounded heart thing it calls to me to help, to serve. So I sort of brought those two together and realized that what it was going to be. And I just started with some coaching programs that helped me to get clear about my niche and my message. And it may still evolve. I'm just saying where I am now. That really brings me into a place of service to women in a way that is supportive, business-oriented as well, because what I get clear about more and more as I do deeper and deeper into my work and my coaching is I see a paradigm shift that needs to happen. It's not happening yet, but it's starting to, because it's a slow-moving vehicle, to shift the perspective of how women are in the business world. I'm helping a lot of women who are in the business world learn how to become feminine in their personal lives, which helps you in a relationship, by the way, hint, hint. But also how do women bring their feminine gifts into the business world, which is structured for the male ego, for want of a better word. Anyway, that's a whole different conversation. I'm not going to get into that now. And that's probably where I'm going to be heading in the next, this year and beyond. I feel it already. But why I love doing what I do, why I'm so committed to this, is because I know more and more, especially after what happened after the election, what happened with Me Too, Time's Up, and what's coming next, whatever that is. This is part of the cracking of the structure and the shifting of the paradigm to bring balance back, or balance into how men and women are treated in the world. That's not just pay scale, it's about honoring the differences. So in business, how women can perform, lead, serve, cooperate, collaborate, become change makers in a way that is authentic to their feminine heart is something I'm interested in finding out more about and sharing it and teaching it as I go through. That's why these broadcasts, 239 so far, are absolutely in service to that. That's what they're called, Messages from the Masculine to Inspire the Feminine Heart. In case you were wondering why I call them that. And it's funny, I was looking back at some replays from way back in February, March last year. That was when I was still doing broadcasts in the 20s and 30s. Now I'm in the 230. didn't plan to go that far from then. But it's really clear now that as I do these, it feels like if you've ever been to a deli or a coffee shop where they have those plate dispensers in the counters, where the plates are stacked down on a spring and you take one off and a new one pops up. In a lot of ways, my broadcasts feel like that. It's like, what's up next? Oh, this one. Okay. Done. And then tomorrow, another one. Let's try that one out. 239 so far. I think there's more in there. We'll see. But I just want to get this out, just speak about this as a selfish and selfless talk about why I do what I do, and what drives me, why I do this, and what I'm passionate about, and why I love serving. And certainly invite anybody who's watching who wants help in this area to reach out to me, because That's why I love doing this. This is what I'm called to do. So, yeah. That was a surprise. Thank you for watching. Thanks for witnessing my epiphany, because I didn't expect that to come up. I got some journaling to do after this. And thanks for watching. I hope this has been of entertainment for you, interest for you, inspiration for you at least. It's not necessarily meant to be educational, but at least I hope it touched you or had you have some realizations of your own. Please share this with anybody you think should benefit from this, and if you have any questions or thoughts yourself and want some support, please reach out to me. Comments below are welcomed. This is my daily passion, service, talk, expression. Tomorrow's be 240. We'll see what comes up for tomorrow. I'll be cat sitting, so I'll be probably in a different backdrop to this. This is my set piece I use most of the time, but I'm not always here. Okay, I'm spinning around in circles. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being with me. I appreciate you watching, supporting, being part of my message. And I invite you, as always, to take care of yourself. You can find these broadcasts, by the way. I forgot to give you a little plug. You can watch these broadcasts on my website, which is barryselby.com. You find a whole bunch of stuff on my site, which includes my coaching programs, online programs. These are under my video blog. My 2018 intention program I created called Rock Your 2018, because some people don't yet have the resolutions sorted out. Lots of stuff is on my website, including the video blog, which is where these live, as well as on YouTube, which is Barry Selby, my channel, and on my business page here. Thank you for watching. Thanks for being with me. I appreciate the comments. Thank you, Corey, for your input. As always, as a completion, please take care of yourself. You know how to take care of yourself more than anybody else does, so why wait for somebody else to show up? Take care of yourself, and I'll see you again tomorrow.